What's up, self healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Here on Closing the Gap, we like to converse about everything from grounding in nature to crystals to plant medicine to Kundalini awakening. So there's a level of conversation, there's different levels of the conversation on the healing and the spiritual journey. So we hope that you enjoy our content. And if you enjoy it, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Okay, so today I wanted to speak on the topic of the four elements. And so in the West, here in North America, we the indigenous people here, Native Americans, indigenous people, we associate the four elements with earth, water, air, and fire. And so in other cultures, they add metal and they add wood and things of that sort. But here we are associated with fire, water, earth, and air. Okay? So the fire element is associated with our willpower, our will to transformation. It's our get up and go. It can be associated with the astrological signs of Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. Yeah, all those are fire signs. And the water is associated with our emotions and our creativity, our ability to manifest and create things here in the physical and the spiritual realms. Yes, and so water is associated with the healing and the psychic abilities of the water signs, which are Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. Earth is associated with our stability, our reliability, our finances, our material wealth here in the 3D realm. And this element is associated with Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorns. Yeah. And so air, it's associated with our communication, our freedom, our ability to verbally manifest in the spiritual realm, to speak those things in existence, to speak those things that are not as though they are, is the the air element, and it's associated with Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Yes? So let's get started with fire and some of the things that we can use the element of fire in order to assist us on our spiritual and our healing journey. So fire is a very powerful element. Like I said earlier, it's our get up and go. It's what makes us, it's our motivation in life. And so some of the things that you can do when working with the element of fire is that you can release things that no longer serve you with the element of fire. A lot of times the things that no longer serve us are the things that are obviously holding us back from reaching our goals. And so one of the things you can do with the element of fire is writing, journaling, shadow work. You can write down the things that no longer serve you, and then you can take that piece of paper and you can catch it afire and burn it. And releasing those things that no longer serve you and allowing that smoke to go up into the ethers, to basically sending your prayers of what you want to release. You can also manifest in this way by writing down what you want, writing down the vision, writing what you want to manifest. Okay. You can also use the element of fire in what some refer to as candle magic. You can take a candle, like say, for example, a white candle, and you can write down on the side of the glass. Make sure there's no stickers or anything like that, because the stickers usually have wording and things of that sort. If there's no prayers or anything that you don't want on your candle, make sure that it's a clean white candle with nothing on, no stickers or anything like that. And you can clean your candle with Florida water or sage or something of the sort. You can even run it underwater to cleanse the energy of wherever the candle has been before it got to you. Better yet, you can make your own candles, which would be, that's really a good idea. You can make your own candles, yeah? So you take the candle and you write what you want to manifest on the side of the candle. You want love, prosperity, peace, protection, whatever it is you want to manifest, you can put that on the side of the candle and you can light the candle. And that is working with the fire, the element of fire. And so, working with the element of fire is also working with the sun. And so you can do things such as sunbathing and releasing those things that no longer serve you while you're laying in the sun. Laying in the sun in the nude is even better. Like if you have a safe space where you can lay in the sun with in the nude, or sun gazing, where one kind of stares directly into the sun. And you want to be familiar with this work because you don't want to do any damage to your eyes. But just for a short period of time, you're sun gazing, looking directly into the sun. You're not only sharpening your vision, but you're also activating your third eye. And so that's one way you can work with fire, the element of fire, is by sun gazing. You can also work with the element of fire via things such as dance and movement. Dancing is working with the element of fire, drumming circles and things of that sort, fire circles, sitting around a campfire, singing and dancing. That's working with the element of fire. Burning away those things that no longer serve you and calling in the motivation, the ambition to get up and go that you need to manifest those things that do serve you. Some other ways to work with the element of fire is through incense, through just having candles burning in your home, to burning sage or palo santo, frankincense and myrrh. And so you're burning these incense that's working with the element of fire, and a little bit of earth as well. Yeah. With a little bit of air as well. Also, a really good way of working with the element of fire is when you're cooking with intention, putting the intention in your food. I don't know if you've noticed that the intention in food is very relevant. So if you want the person that's cooking your food to be happy, to be in good spirits, because if you're like eating fast food and things of that sort, these people aren't happy. They're getting paid the minimum. They're overworked, underpaid, and people are rude coming through the drive-through and saying sarcastic stuff coming through the drive-through and complaining about their food. So this food is thrown together and there's no intention put into it. So working with the element of fire is when you're cooking in your own kitchen and setting the tone for the food. Yeah. And so these are some ways that the element of fire can assist you on your healing and your spiritual journey. Right. And so working with the element of water. Water, again, is associated with Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. It's also associated with healing, releasing. It's associated with our emotions. Yes. So working with the element of water is one of my favorites. So the easiest way that you can work with the element of water is by pouring yourself a spiritual bath or a salt bath, Epsom salt bath. As simple as putting an Epsom salt in your water. And sometimes we undersalt. So you don't want to put a couple of spoons of Epsom salt in your water and think that's going to do it. You want to put a couple of cups in there. I usually put about 6 cups of scoops of salt in my bath water. So a lot of times we will undersalt. And so you want to make sure your water is good and salty and you soak in it. You can spruce that up with things such as flower baths, adding flowers to your bath, or even adding fruit to your bath, adding some slices of oranges or lemons to your bath. And so these are ways that you can work with the element of water, and you soak in that bath and you set your intentions. Yeah, you can add the fire element to that bath by adding your candles and your incense into that to join in with the water element. These things are very healing. And you can add a meditation while you're doing your spiritual bath. And so that's one way that water can assist you on your healing and your spiritual journey. So the ocean is huge. Like if you can get to the ocean and just submerge in that, being in the ocean I've referred to it before as being, it feels like you're being wrapped in the arms of God. It's just, you're just surrounded by this big body of water, you know, and this salt is detoxifying, cleansing, and healing as it's holding you. Yes, so the ocean is a beautiful way to work with the element of, water. Some other ways of, simple ways of working with the element of water is, we've already spoken on flower baths, but you can do herbal baths where you put herbs in there, like medicinal herbs inside of your water. Yes, or you can have this scented Epsom salt, like the rosemary or the mint or the lavender. This way you're using herbs, and you can actually put the actual herbs in there as well. Some other ways of working with the element of water on your healing and your spiritual journey is that you can take your water, right? You can catch rainwater, yeah, and you can set it under the moons, the elements of the moons, like so you have the full moon, the waxing moon, the gibbous moon, the new moon. Usually under the full moon or the new moon, you want to leave your rainwater out under the moonlight, and so that the moon you can set your intentions in that water. And what can you do with this water? If you just use regular water, spring water or distilled water, then you can use that water. You can drink it. You can add it to your bath water. You can even cook with it, because the water is distilled or spring water or alkaline water, something of that sort. If you're using moon water, you can use, or if you're using rainwater, you can use this moon water once it's set under the moon. You can use it in your bath, set the intentions of the rainwater once you set it under the moon. You can also use it, you can spritz your hair with it. You can make Florida water with it. Yeah, use it in your Florida water. There's many things you can use it for. So you can use it for a toner or a spritz on your face. And so these are some ways that you can work with water. One of the most intimate ways of working with water, you can use mindful drinking. Like when you're with the water, whatever the water is used in, whether it's used in your tea or whether it's used in your coffee or whatever it's used in, you can hold the glass of water in your hand, feeling the texture of the glass, feeling the temperature of the water, feeling the water as it touches your lips, as it goes down into your stomach, like actually being one with the water and feeling it go down into your body. If it's a tea or something, you're smelling the water, smelling the tea, how it smells. And so you're really there in the moment. It's almost like intentional cooking, but it's intentional drinking. Yes? Being one. So anything can be a meditative practice, to include drinking water. Yeah? One of the most powerful ways of working with water is through crying. Yes? Crying it is very healing. It's an emotional release. A lot of people have trouble with this because they are not connected to their emotions. And a lot of men don't get to do this a lot, but we need to encourage our boys that it's okay to cry. Tears are very healing. Yes. And so crying is a very important part of healing, releasing the trauma, releasing the regrets, releasing the loss, crying for happy reasons, even celebration, crying for joyful tears. But crying is a beautiful way to work with the water element in your healing journey. Moving on to earth. Earth is also a very powerful way to work with the elements. Earth is grounding, and so some of the ways you can work with the earth element in your healing and your spiritual journey is through what we call grounding, as far as walking barefoot, placing your feet on the ground. You can also add in the fire element, placing your feet on the ground while you're sun gazing or while you're sunbathing or whatever the case may be. Placing your feet on the ground and connecting to the earth, envisioning something to the effect of the tree of life, where the roots are coming out of the bottom of your feet and your arms are the branches of the tree, and then your body is the trunk of the tree, and you're reaching as far down into the ground as you possibly can with your roots, and as high up in the sky as you possibly can with your branches. Breathing in, yes. And so in this way, we're adding the fire element and we're adding the earth element together. Another fun way, one of my favorite ways of working with earth medicine, is that working in the garden. Yes, and so you're working in the garden, and you are you're planting your herbs, you're planting your flowers, whatever it is you're doing. This also goes back to the water element, because what can you use those herbs for? You can use those same herbs that you've planted with your hands, connecting to earth, in your spiritual baths. Yes, you can use those same herbs in your fire rituals. So if you've planted sage and lavender and you've made your own sage sticks with that, now you're using the creativity of water, you're using the herbs of earth, and when you burn it, you're using the fire element. And so you see how this all goes together on your spiritual and your healing journey. And these herbs can spiritually cleanse your home. You can also use these herbs that you've planted during your earth rituals in your fire rituals. You can place these herbs, because each herb has a spiritual meaning. Yes, so let's say, for example, sage and rosemary is protective. Yeah, let's say that eucalyptus is brings in money. Yeah, and so you can crush these herbs up, sprinkle them over the top of your candle, place a bit of oil, not a whole lot, but a bit of oil on the top of the candle, maybe some olive oil or MCT oil, and then you sprinkle your herbs on top of the candle, whatever it is you want to manifest. Say, for example, if it's love that you want to manifest, then you take your rose petals and you crush them up, put them over the top of the candle, put a little bit of oil, and then you write love, peace, harmony, whatever it is you want to candle, and you burn that candle. Yeah, and so that's how you can work with the earth element and the fire element and the air element, actually, in your with your fire magic, or your fire, the element of fire. And so these are some ways that we spoke about fire, working with water, and working with earth. Some other ways to work with the earth is your house plants. Yeah, so taking care of your house plants. It has been proven that plants do have feelings, they do have emotions, and they do communicate. Yeah, and so people have proven that when a person has a house full of plants, and the plants can tell when that person comes and goes. They can tell when the person that takes care of them is next to them. Yes. One of the most powerful ways that you can work with earth is through plant medicine. Yes, and so working with plant medicine, such as you need to know what you're doing, but you need to work with underneath a medicine man or a medicine woman, or what some people refer to as a shaman. So there you have your recreational plant medicine that people work with, such as marijuana, and then shrooms are very quickly becoming recreational. But still, you need to know what you're doing when you're working with things such as shrooms. And then, of course, we have San Pedro, peyote, ayahuasca. All of that is earth, and all of that can heal you on your spiritual and your healing journey. Yes, very, very, very powerful methods of healing. Do your research on that and make sure you're working with the right people. Yeah, you can make tinctures with the herbs. And things of that sort. Also, other things you can work with earth is I always have crystals around my house. I always have crystals close to me. Here I have rose quartz. I have clear quartz, and this is one of the crystals that I actually harvested myself in Hot Springs, Arkansas. So if you ever want to go crystal digging to gather your own crystals for your earth medicine, then by all means, Hot Springs, Arkansas is the place to go. So also working with clay or mud Yeah. When I was in Peru, I took a mud bath in the Amazon River. Beautiful, beautiful medicine. That was a combination of earth and water. That was beautiful medicine, yes. And they actually bottle that up and sell it here in North America, but in South America, it's like you just go take a bath in it. Yeah, it's beautiful medicine. Um, Moving on to, I'm particular about Earth because I am a Virgo, and so Earth is associated with Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Yeah, it's also connected to the root chakra, and it's about your stability, your safety, and reliability. So Earth is beautiful medicine. Let's move on to air. Air is associated with Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Um, it's also a very beautiful healing medicine. Air is connected to communication, and as we know, saying the right thing at the right time can be very, very healing. So yeah, so communication. It's also connected to a free spirit. It's connected to beauty. It's connected to uniqueness. Like Aquarius is very unique. It's also connected to independence and rebellion. Yeah, that's Aquarius. Libra, it's connected to the things that are beautiful, connected to love, connected to the heart chakra. And Gemini, of course, like I said, is connected to communication, very mercurial, the thinking, the analyzing and thinking. It's also connected to Virgo in that aspect. And so what can we use the earth element in our healing, our spiritual journey? Breath work. Breath work is very, 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 very powerful. Breath work, when done correctly and in a safe atmosphere, breath work can be akin to sitting with plant medicine because it activates the DMT. When done properly, it can activate the DMT in the human brain, and you can get a very similar effect of sitting with plant medicine. And so you have to have a very qualified person just doing the breath work, because breath work done outside of a qualified person, I mean, like going deep into breath work, not doing breath work during your yoga practice or something like that. You can do breath work on your own, pranayama breathing and things of that sort. But going into a deep session of breath work needs to be done with someone who knows how to bring their people back into their bodies and help them to stabilize before they release them. Because breath work can actually kind of detach you a little bit. It's happened to me where I just trusted the person doing the breath work, and they just released the class, and I was still kind of not back in my body type of energy. So we have to make sure that we're doing that in a safe manner and that someone who's qualified and well trained. Another way of working with air, the air element, is the wind. Standing in the wind and feeling it, and as the wind is blowing, you're envisioning, you're releasing those things that no longer serve you. Yeah. Well, you have to catch the wind, yeah, and that's usually easy to do when you're like on the beach. So you're working with the water element, and you're working with the sand, which is the earth element, and then the wind's usually blowing when you're close to the water, the ocean, yeah. Smudging, again, is earth, because the smoke that comes from the earth element of smudge, the fire element of burning the smudge, the smoke would be the air element. Incense. Journaling your thoughts, writing is an air element of, and so journaling is very powerful healing, and it's very powerful on your spiritual journey, because what can you do with journaling? You can do inner child work, you can do shadow work, and so you're getting your thoughts out of your head and onto paper. You're getting your traumas out of your body and onto paper, and also you're going back to where you originally felt that trauma, and as a child or whatever, and now how it's affecting you as an adult. And so you're writing down the process. When I was 6 years old, this happened, and now I'm 36 and it's still affecting me, and now I'm 66 and it still affects me, and now I'm 76. Hopefully you've got the hang of it before then, but if not, it's okay. Shadow work can be done at any age, and it can be a process that can heal you at any age, at any time. Yeah. And so journaling is a powerful way to work with the air element on your healing and your spiritual journey. It's associated with the throat chakra. And so communication, starting a podcast, such as something what I'm doing now, or singing, light language, chanting. Tina Turner, for those who are familiar with Tina Turner, when she would do Nam Young O Renge Kyo, that was her chanting. She was using the air element, and it actually healed her and assisted her through getting through very serious domestic violence that she suffered. And she used it up until the day that she transitioned. She chanted, yeah. Light language. Some people develop a light language. We all have one. All of us have not tapped into it. I've tapped into mine briefly, but it almost seems like that if you don't use it regularly, that it kind of goes back into hiding again. But a light language is a special language that's especially it's that person's own personal light language. And some believe that the light language is we all came from different planets. Like we all chose to come to Earth, which is the hardest assignment of all. But we were at different planets, and we chose to come to the Earth school, so that we could learn lessons and we could clear karmic debt for ourselves and our family members. Well, there's a language that we had before we came here, that when you tap into your light language, it's remembering the language of your home. Yes. And so you can chant your light language. So other ways of working with breath work, like we've already spoke about, the smudging and the incense, or other ways of working with the air element. Yes. So those are the 4 elements. We went over which chakra they are associated with, and we went over the astrological signs that they're associated with, and how we can use the earth elements on our spiritual and our healing journey. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in to Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. If you enjoy my content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, share, or leave a comment. We'll chat with you later. Y'all have a good day.